Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and New Orleans Pelicans. This matchup between the Thunder and the Pelicans feels like a story of two teams heading in opposite directions, and it's hard not to have a strong opinion about it. Oklahoma City has been on a tear, playing like a team with serious postseason aspirations. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, he's just ridiculous right now. The way he controls the game, it's like watching a maestro orchestrate a symphony. The guy makes it look so easy, and that's MVP level stuff. Jalen Williams deserves his flowers, too. He's stepped up big time, especially with Holmgren out, and has been the perfect partner in crime for SGA. These guys are thriving, and their defense? Just nasty. They're out there locking people down like their lives depend on it. Every possession feels like a statement. The Pelicans, on the other hand, are stuck in the mud. Injuries have been their kryptonite this season. Zion can't seem to catch a break, and his absence is like a giant hole in their lineup that no one's been able to fill. Ingram and McCollum are doing what they can, but they've been running on fumes, and it's showing. The offense has been straight up ice cold, they're dead last in scoring, and the shots just aren't dropping. That's not what you want when you're up against a team like OKC that can lock you down and run you out of the building. Defensively, it's not like the Pelicans are picking up the slack either. They're giving up points like it's an open gym, and that's a recipe for disaster when you've got guys like SGA and Williams coming at you. Oklahoma City isn't just a one-man show. They've got a balanced attack with players who can hit you from all angles. They're always one step ahead, dictating the tempo and making teams play their game. Now, I know the Pelicans just got a nice win over the Suns, and maybe that gives them a little boost. But let's be real, that felt more like Phoenix slipping than New Orleans suddenly figuring it all out. Sure, they've got playoff potential when they're healthy, but asking them to take on a team as hot as the Thunder right now, that's a tall order. Oklahoma City's dominance in this matchup is hard to ignore. They've won 9 of the last 10 meetings and covered the spread in 8 of them. That's not just a trend, it's a statement. Still, I think this game has a little more juice than the numbers might suggest. The Pelicans have talent, even without Zion, and that Suns win might have lit a spark. If New Orleans is going to hang in there, they'll need a big game from someone like Daniel Theis to help hold it down in the paint. Missy just doesn't seem ready to handle a guy like Hartenstein, who's been a beast on the boards. The Pelicans have 3 guys capable of playing at an all-star level, and that's not something you can just write off, even with their struggles. For me, I think the Pelicans have enough fight in them to make this one interesting. The 8-point spread feels a little too wide, and I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans keeps it close. They've got the pieces to stay in the mix, and if they can hit some shots and tighten up on defense, this might just be a tighter game than most people expect. I'm rolling with the Pelicans to cover and keep things competitive. Let's see if they've got what it takes to prove they can still make some noise.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Dallas Mavericks and Toronto Raptors. The Dallas Mavericks are rolling into Scotiabank Arena with all the swagger of a team that knows they're a problem right now. They've been on an absolute tear, stacking up 6 straight wins and firing on all cylinders offensively. Meanwhile, the Raptors are looking to bounce back after a rough night against the Thunder, where things got out of hand in a hurry. Dallas is riding the wave of a 15-8 record, with 10 wins in their last 11 games. That blowout against Washington, 137-101, by the way, was a showcase of everything clicking. Luka Doncic's return has been a game-changer. He's been flirting with a triple-double every night, averaging 28.6 points, nearly 8 boards, and almost 8 dimes. That 79th career triple-double against the Wizards, vintage Luka, taking over and making it look easy. But Luka's not doing it alone. Kyrie Irving is balling out, dropping 24 a night, and shooting lights out from deep at 46%. The chemistry between these two is something special, and when you sprinkle in guys like PJ Washington doing the dirty work on the boards and hitting shots, you've got an offense that's scary good. They're sitting pretty as the 4th best offense in the league right now, and their knack for taking care of the ball and crashing the glass has been a big part of their success. Now, Toronto's not exactly having their best season, sitting at 7-16 overall, but they've been scrappy at home, going 6-5 at Scotiabank Arena. They're clearly in rebuild mode, but Scottie Barnes and RJ Barrett have been giving fans something to cheer about. Barrett's stepping into the spotlight as their go-to scorer, putting up nearly 24 a game with over 6 assists. The hustle on the offensive boards is real, too. Toronto's been one of the league leaders in grabbing second-chance points. The downside for the Raptors? Turnovers and defensive breakdowns have been their kryptonite. That ugly 129-92 loss to OKC? A perfect example. If they want to hang with a red-hot Mavericks squad, they'll need to lock in defensively and hope to slow down Dallas's perimeter attack. Here's the kicker. Historically, the Raptors have been solid against the spread when they're at home, especially as underdogs. They've covered in some tight games this year, and while beating Dallas feels like a tall order, the 9.5-point spread has me raising an eyebrow. The Mavericks may be hot, but Toronto's scrappy enough to make this interesting. Dallas has been on fire, covering the spread in all 6 wins during their current streak, with an offense pouring in nearly 119 points per game. Their defense isn't exactly elite, but it's been enough to fuel those blowouts. On the flip side, Toronto's giving up 117 points a night. Yikes, and that's part of why they've struggled to find consistency. So, where am I leaning? Honestly, the Raptors covering the spread feels like a decent play. They've been solid at home lately, with 4 wins in their last 5 games. Plus, Dallas hasn't been great at covering against Toronto historically, missing the spread in 7 of their last 10 meetings. I'm not saying Toronto's winning this one, but I wouldn't be shocked if they keep it close enough to cover. Now, the real move? Total points. Dallas is running up the scoreboard with Luka playing at an MVP level, averaging 30 over his last 10 games, and Kyrie torching defenses from deep. But let's be real, their defense isn't exactly locking teams down, giving up 111 a game. Toronto's not much better on that end, coughing up 117 and fresh off a beatdown where they gave up 129. This game has shootout vibes all over it. Both teams are better offensively than defensively right now, and that's the kind of setup where the over on total points feels like a layup. That's where I'm putting my money. It just fits with how these squads have been playing lately. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Memphis Grizzlies and Boston Celtics. Alright, let's dive into the Saturday night showdown between the Boston Celtics and Memphis Grizzlies. This one's got all the makings of a dogfight. On one side, you've got the Celtics, fresh off a gritty win against the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday. On the other, a well-rested Grizzlies squad ready to pounce after a big-time victory over the Sacramento Kings. These two squads bring contrasting styles to the table, and the storylines couldn't be juicier. Boston's been a powerhouse this season, no doubt about it. They've got a league-best three-point attack, reigning in 19 triples a night while firing them up at a ridiculous clip. That drive-and-kick game of theirs? Lethal. It stretches defenses to their breaking point, opening up lanes and causing headaches for anyone trying to guard them. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room, fatigue. Playing on the second night of a back-to-back, the Celtics could be dealing with some heavy legs, especially after going full throttle to edge the Bucks. Jason Tatum has been nothing short of a stud. The guy's averaging 28.7 a game, and he's 6th in the league in scoring. His ability to carry the load is second to none, and you saw that Friday when he dropped 34 points to seal the win. But here's the thing, Boston's rotation has been tested. Kristaps Porzingis has been in and out, and while their depth has held up, shout out to Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard for stepping up, you gotta wonder how much gas they've got in the tank for this one. Plus, Boston's been shaky against the spread lately, covering just twice in their last 10 games. That's a red flag for anyone riding with the Celtics to dominate. Now let's talk Grizzlies. This team is quietly putting it all together. 7 wins in their last 8 games? That's no fluke. They've been ballin', and even when John Morant had to hit the showers early last game, they still got it done against a solid Sacramento team. Morant is the engine for the squad, and while his dunk-happy style might be on pause to keep him healthy, he's still electric. Pair him with Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, and Santi Aldama, who's been a revelation this season, and you've got a squad that can run with anyone. Marcus Smart's veteran presence has been huge too. You know he's got this one circled on his calendar, going up against his old team. Memphis has its flaws, sure. They struggled a bit on the road, going 4-5 straight up away from home. But they've been trending up, playing some of their best basketball not just this season, but in the last year and a half. Their pace is relentless. They're third in the league in that department, and they know how to put points on the board. If Boston's defense isn't locked in, Memphis could make this game way more interesting than the Celtics would like. Here's the X factor, rest. The Grizzlies are coming in fresh, while the Celtics might be running on fumes. And let's not forget, Boston's interior defense isn't the same without Porzingis. If he's out, Memphis will feast in the paint. They're one of the most efficient teams at the rim, and Boston doesn't force a lot of turnovers, so the Grizzlies should have room to operate. Look, the Celtics are still one of the league's top dogs, and they can blow the doors off any team when they're rolling. But with the back-to-back schedule and the way Memphis has been clicking, I wouldn't be surprised if this one turns into a nail-biter. Boston might pull it out at home, but I'm leaning toward Memphis to cover the spread, especially if we're talking something around plus 7.5. And hey, if the Celtics rest a starter or two, don't sleep on the Grizzlies stealing this one outright. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Phoenix Suns and Miami Heat. The Suns are heading into South Beach to face the Heat, and this matchup feels like a test of survival for Phoenix, while Miami looks to build some momentum. The Suns have been dealt a tough hand with key injuries, sitting at 12-9 on the season, but struggling to cover the spread at just 8-13. The Heat, with a middling 10-10 record and 9-11 against the spread, have shown glimpses of what they can do, but can't seem to keep the energy rolling consistently. Without Kevin Durant, who's sidelined with an ankle injury, the Suns are leaning heavily on Devin Booker and Bradley Beal to keep the offense afloat. Booker's putting up 25.1 points per game while hitting 43.8% of his shots, and while he's shown he can carry the load, like against the Spurs, the pressure is on him to stay consistent. Beal, meanwhile, has been solid but not spectacular. 18 points per game on 50.3% shooting isn't bad, but that 38.5% clip from deep and a nagging calf injury make his contributions feel more like a question mark than a guarantee. The supporting cast, Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones, and others, need to step up big time. The Suns are middle of the pack in a lot of areas, 13th in scoring, 11th in shooting percentage, and 9th in three-point accuracy. But their free throw shooting, 14th, and rebounding, 15th, haven't been reliable, and defensively, they're just okay, sitting at 17th in blocks. If they want to pull this one out, they'll need Booker and Beal to go nuclear and the role players to keep things steady. On the flip side, Miami's coming in hot after absolutely dismantling the Lakers by 41 points. That kind of beatdown doesn't happen by accident, and it might just be the spark this team needs. Tyler Herro has been cooking, averaging 24.1 points on 46.7% shooting, with a nasty 42% from downtown. Jimmy Butler is back in the mix, putting up 18.7 points on a ridiculous 54.8% shooting, and Bam Adebayo is doing his thing with 15.6 points and 9.9 boards, even if his 42.9% shooting leaves a little to be desired. The Heat's shooting stats are a mixed bag. They're just 24th in overall field goal percentage and 18th at the stripe, but they're 7th in three-point shooting. Turnovers? Not a problem. They rank 3rd in taking care of the rock. Defense, though, has been shaky, especially in rim protection, where they rank dead last in blocks. To take down the Suns, they'll need to lock down the perimeter and let Adebayo handle his business in the paint. Phoenix hasn't been great against Eastern Conference teams, sitting at 0-5 against the spread in those matchups. Miami, on the other hand, has been a little better against the West at 4-2 against the spread. Both squads are 4-5 against the spread in their respective away and home games, which doesn't inspire a ton of confidence in consistency. Without Durant and Jusuf Nurkic, the Suns are in a tough spot, and they'll need to dig deep just to keep this one close. The Heat might be inconsistent, but after that thrashing of the Lakers, they look like a team ready to turn a corner. At home, with no major injuries to worry about, I like Miami to take care of business and cover the 5-point spread. Phoenix has talent, but without their big guns, it's hard to see them pulling this one off. This game feels like a microcosm of the season for both teams. The Suns trying to weather the storm without key players, and the Heat searching for a rhythm they can sustain. If Miami can stay locked in and bring the same energy they showed against the Lakers, they should have enough to come out on top and send Phoenix home still searching for answers.